Hey everybody, Dogbird here in DC Worlds Collide. I know a lot of new people have been picking up this game now, and it's getting closer and closer to global launch. We still don't know when though. Please don't ask. We just don't know. I haven't said anything. So I wanted to make this video just to go over some new player things to do, things to watch out for, and things to think about. So this is actually a new account. Um, with DC Worlds Collide, kind of like if you're familiar with Marvel Future Revolution, you can pick a different server and have a totally different account on that server and still have your original account back on the old server. This happens to be like the newest one. I think it's Global 12. I think it was I just started it up. So this is what a newer account looks like after you go through the basic tutorial. And you get a few characters. You always get Captain Cold on your first pull. You get King Shark in the campaign, and you're always given Batman. These are just the characters you're going to have. Other than really maybe Captain Cold and Batman, you don't want to really work on these three. They're blue characters. Sorry if they're your favorite. They're just not good in this game. Captain Cold's really not great. As far as you get later in, most purple characters are not. You want mostly like these gold or legendary characters. The other thing is you're going to be collecting idle supplies, which you can do as you just sit there and collect them. There's a free collection every day. My recommendation would be, if you're a newer player, wait until see how far you get through the main stages first. The reason being, the farther you're in the main stages, the more this will get you as far as supply. So you might want to do that, or just watch out for this reset timer. Do it just before that, do it when you're done playing for the day. That's pretty much a good time. You also have this cat here, which gives you some gifts. The first 3 days, as long as you're online, you can just leave this thing running and the timer keeps going. And you can see, and then you'll eventually get this rainbow, and you'll get all these extra things. There's a survey you can do that gets you 300 diamonds, which I do suggest. Who cares what you put in the survey? You can also do a Facebook follow, get 100 more gems there. There's also, if you go into a newer server, which I highly recommend, you don't want to be like inside the first global server, global 1. That's where all the older players are at. So you get some stuff as you go through, like using encrypting tokens, just recruiting, getting an epic up to 8, 6, etc. The other thing was, once you go into the pool, you're going to get a legendary selection that looks like this. So select one character. They are all good characters, don't get me wrong. These are legendary characters. But I think the overall best for newer players, unless you're going to be like an Ultra Kraken or Whale, is Wonder Woman. If you're going to be an Ultra Kraken Whale who really cares about Arena, then Flash is the best one for the Arena. Superman is good, but he's not going to carry you like a Wonder Woman will. She does a fantastic amount of damage. Superman's a tank, and Flash is agility. It's kind of support. What you are going to be also require the special rainbow type for cards or pulls. We'll get into those a little bit when I switch back to my main account. I'll talk about the different banners and how these pulls work. But when you first do pulls, your first pull is always going to be Captain Cold, no matter what. But if you notice here, it actually starts at 6, but it's actually 5. You're going to always get an epic character. This will be a random epic. So when you're first starting, if you get a bad epic, it might make sense to just go and reroll on another server and try to get a better, newer epic. Now I do have one card here. Let's go ahead and pull it. I'm not guaranteed an epic yet. This will give you an idea what it looks like though. So we got a duplicate of King Shark. That's fine. The other thing is, what do you do with gems? The best thing to do gems when you're first starting is to, well, do these pools. You can't get legendaries in this pool. This basic character equipment uses these purples. You can see who you can possibly pull out here. These green characters are absolutely useless. The blue characters, you'll unlock them all eventually. Not much use for them though. You do use their shards that will help level up other characters. The purple characters, you really do need to actually rank up and use. I'll show you that on my main account. And these gold characters, these are generally pretty good characters. The ones you really want to get Like a Killer Frost is really good. Raven over here. Two-Face, Green Arrow, Constantine, even Kid Flash, phenomenal healer. Penguin and Grodd are actually good tanks. You already got Batman, so you don't really want to pull a dupe of him, honestly. Nightwing, fabulous tank. There's a lot of good pulls. A lot of bad. A bad pull would be like Firestorm or Poison Ivy or even Pandora. Those would be lesser pulls. Even Bizarro wouldn't want to start off with him as my first epic. Now you probably are going to get most of these epics over time, so it doesn't matter if you do the 1 pull or 10 pull. The nice thing about the 10 pull, if you do it 1 time a week, you can share it to Facebook, get another 100 gems back. So this is kind of nice to do. And once you have epics, you can then choose an epic you already have because you want to get those shards again to rank them up to eventually pull for them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull and see what the epic is on this particular account. Alright, we're going to keep going. And here's what happens when you pull the new characters. This is a purple one, Clayface. Fairly easy to get. Actually a pretty good tank at the lower levels. You'll probably end up using him. You need characters anyway. Batgirl. And this is not a great epic to get started off, but it's not a horrible epic. If I'm really working on this, I'd probably just try to reroll for a better epic than Starfire. She's just in the middle of the road. And you see you can pull here and share it to Facebook, get another 50. So that's what I got on this account. Now to go over, as you can see now, because I did a recruitment, I get some points. I can eventually get these cards if I do more. But for now, I'm going to switch over to the main account and talk more about the game then. Alright, back in my main account. Let's go back over those pulls again. This is going to look a little bit different. I have some more banners here. I'm an older player, so I can go after the Flash if I want to. Martian Manhunter is the current legendary pull, new character. Then you have your normal just champion recruitment that doesn't have the set legendary like this one does. And then of course you have your character recruit. Now the important thing about these tokens are very hard to get, these encrypted rainbow ones. You'll get quite a few of them though starting out because they just kind of give them to you through achievements, everything else. So you're going to have to make a decision then. Do you just pull for whatever legendary character that's in this pool that you are guaranteed to get if you pull a legendary? That is the key. As you can see, I only made 36 out of 150. But a legendary in this pool is actually a 1.25% chance you have of getting it. For instance, and then Martian Manhunter, if you look at him, it's only 1%, so it's technically slightly better to go for that pool. This one would guarantee you Martian Manhunter, but you can see the pool progress. I'm at 100 out of 250 on the guarantee. And then you look at this third one, because this has been around a lot longer for me, I'm at 237 out of 250, and I'll get one of these random legendaries that are in the pool. So for me, it makes more sense to ignore a so-so legendary like Martian Manhunter and go after one of these, because I only have Cyborg and Lex Luthor. Odds are I'm going to get one of the legendaries I don't have once I get enough pulls. So that's something to think about. The other thing you're going to notice is I have a lot of the purple tokens. I have 65, plus I have a lot of gems. I'm not pulling because I have most of the characters already. It's very hard to actually get the yellow characters or the epic characters. If you look at the actual pool, which you can do by this, oops, gotta select the pool first. You can actually see the recruitment. The epic character is 3%, that is the gold. The elites are the purples. The rare is blue, and then the greens, which I don't know why they're in here. So that's why I don't do these pulls. What I'm waiting for is when this, instead of a legendary character needing rainbow tokens, they come out with new epic characters or elite characters. I can never remember which one it's actually called. And you'll be able to pull for that new character. The last one we had was Raven. I pulled her because I had saved up everything. I could just pull against that and constantly try to get her. So you notice there's different star levels on these characters than what you would start out with, because you obviously start out with these gold stars. So it goes gold, red, and then eventually silver. It costs a whole lot. As you can see, this 5 is the maximum of any color. So this is the maximum red will go. And it's incredibly expensive to get up to a silver. I need a ton of shards of Constantine to do that. You'll also notice I do have the max rank on all my purple characters. Number one, I've been playing a long time, but number two, you do have to sometimes use them. Honestly, once you get later in the game, I'll show you why. When you're talking about like things like Converge as Crisis, I'm gonna activate that. Yeah, thank you. It is limited traits, with limited entry here. Like here, it's only super villains. That's not too bad. This one here is only red characters, green characters, blue characters. So you might not have a full roster, and you might need to use those purple characters. All these purple characters aren't actually that bad, they're just not as good as some others. Black Canary is actually a great standout. You'll actually get her on the second day if you have a login calendar. You'll get Constantine on your 7th day logging in. Absolutely phenomenal character. Go ahead and build him. The others, you kind of are situational. Scarecrow if you're using Poison Ivy on a poison team. You get Captain Cold, Captain Clayface, Frankenstein. These are good early tanks. There's just things you need occasionally here and there. You need to put them together because they're in colors or whatever. But one of the things that this game is progressing by main stages. These are down here. These are your main stages, kind of like your progression higher in them. Once you go past 6-30, you open up what's known as the Reserve League Center. A lot of people don't know this, but in reality, you only need to level 5 characters. The lowest of those 5 will give the level to anybody you put in the Reserve League Center. It will become that level automatically. You still have to gear and rank them up, but they automatically get that level. You don't have to waste coins and titanium into them. You can see my 5, I have 2 at 200, so my lowest is 200. So all these characters I never leveled, they all instantly become 200 as soon as I put them in here. I can even put another character in here. I don't suggest putting blues in here unless you absolutely have to use them for something. And I could put purples in here. I tend to keep a little bit of space open for new characters. Or, I'm just not using them, so why use that? You can see I actually do have a blue in here. There is an event that I actually needed him to do that. So generally for that, you want to level up your 5 highest ranks. That means the most stars. The exception to that rule would be like, I have my Kid Flash up there because his max level, even at this rank, is like 260, I think. If I remember right. It might be his max. I wanted him because I use him constantly. I wanted him up as high as possible. But it doesn't matter if I did screw up and I wanted to redo somebody or I got somebody. I can come out here for the low cost of only 5 gems. I can get everything back that I put into them as far as coins, titanium, and experience points. Just reset it. Use those same. It's always going to be the same cost no matter what character. I could put into another character. Like if I wanted to drop Kid Flash and I wanted a 4-star up there, I could put like Jessica Cruz then up there. Flip them around. So that's what you mean. You don't have to level up all those characters. Just do 5. Get through 6-30, and boom, you're going to be set. You'll get the Reserve League Center, and then you notice that there's this little Reserve League seats. You get these through various, mostly the travel guide. You get it through character trials, and they'll eventually open up more and more seats. Character trials, I have videos on those, how to get through some of them. You get these on certain characters, all legendaries or epics. You can see each one has a character trial. They kind of teach you how to play the character, put you in some scenarios of how to do it. There's even one for Batman. And then you'll get rewards, as you can see. You get some shards, you get some bowls, so you get the things for the Reserve League, you get some gems. This is just really easy, good stuff, but there are guides out there of how to do it. Another thing you're going to open up, I do suggest you doing, getting through the explorations. These are fairly easy. If you think I need to make some videos about where these chests are and everything, and how to complete these, let me know, and I can run back through them and show you where all the chests are. They're actually kind of fun, hiding, picking out some things. There's some battles in there too. Around here is also the digital universe. These are important too. And they're actually kind of fun because they become like puzzles later on. They get you these collection items, which are kind of like spells if you're in another game. You use them once in a battle, they give you some kind of buff or they do something. You'll be going through these different Greek letters. There's the mirror, there's a tiger, eventually, and then there's a throne. And then eventually they just kind of stop and you get some extra resources, which are always good, which you always need. I got some videos on these too, on some of the later ones to get through these because they get more challenging, whereas these first ones are pretty much just smash and defeat enemies. Not as much fun as the puzzle ones once they get later on. Well, we also have the character lounge. This is where you get rooms for different characters. You don't actually have to have the characters to get these rooms. You just need to get the blueprints to unlock them. Batgirl's probably the most important room. You get her for free, don't worry. That's because of the squad dispatch. If I actually had some missions out here, I could quick dispatch. And he goes out and gets me some free resources. I collect them later. It's one of those things you come back for next day. There's some mini games like such as in the arrow here. There's archery practice. When you click it, you can go play a little mini game. There's a Martian Manhunter room down here, where you can play a little mini game there. There's different decorations that give you some things to unlock, and sometimes the characters come into the rooms if you have them. Just little extra things to do. When we're talking about the multiverse, we also have the Evil Falls. This is kind of like a single-player world boss right now. It happens to be Superwoman is the one. I'm at level 13. You'll start at level 1. Do as much damage as you can, and then you'll get some nice rewards. You'll eventually level up to 2, 3, etc. And each day this can change. Generally they last about 2 days, and then we'll move on. We have Johnny Quick. We're on Superwoman right now. Ultraman, Owlman, Power Ring, Deathstorm, I think was his name. And they each require something a little bit different. These are more single target. This is more AoE. Yeah, pretty simple. Convergence is another mode. Originally this was like a whole separate little campaign. Now they've made it kind of like a daily challenge thing. You have this main one which is always here, and then each day, except for Sunday when they're all lit up, you have these different challenges that you can go through that have different restrictions. You can work your way through them at your own pace. Nothing really has to be done right now in this game. Surveillance used to be called Crisis Watch. Each week this will change. There's usually a different trick at the end. They get the max points. You want to clear all the satellites as much as you can. There are rewards. Like I said, that changes every week. If we need videos on this, let me know. I can put some up. Elseworld's probably the most fun. I already did it today, but in Elseworld, you get to pick. It's kind of like a tower mode where you get to pick a selection of teams, even characters that you don't have. You can get to try to use. You get some buffs along the way. It's really tons of fun. War Worlds, where we have Arena. You don't actually really get to play the arena. You get to set your offense and defense, and you can kind of just go through and just do matches. Let me see. So these are incredibly low people. I don't even need to really play it. You can just skip through it. You see, I hit play. I can hit this little arrow. Boom, it tells me if I win or lose. It's all on auto. Same thing with unrestricted arena. That's just, instead of one team going against it, you actually have 3 teams going against it. This one you don't get to pick. It's just whoever you happen to get. If they're bigger than you, sorry, you're going to take an L. If not, you can win. You can see it's going to be 3 battles. Win 2 out of 3, you win the match. I won in the first, I lost the second. Let's see what happens in the third. Nope, I lost. Oh well. It's just a little something you have to do every day. You do 5 of those battles, you get some more rewards. Right now there's an event going on. There's always an event for a new character. This happens to be Martian Manhunter. There's a little thing here where you end up facing him, get your max points as much as you can, as long as you can last, and I'll eventually get rank rewards. There's also like these daily challenges. As long as you do the things, you get the little things, and there's also this one that's kind of more of a over the entire event to get some more, and eventually you can go into a store and buy some extra stuff. This is where I got the blueprints for Martian Manhunter. They even have blueprints for previous characters, so if you didn't have Sinestro's room or Deathstroke's room, you could get those with these kind of gems. I'm kind of waiting on when I'm not decided what I want to spend them on yet. If you do decide to spend money in this game, it's not a bad idea. For as little as $1, if you spend $1, you'll get Green Arrow for free. Very good character. Do recommend it if you're going to spend any money. Or if you don't really want to spend, maybe just spend a $1. Get Green Arrow unlocked. It's a free epic or elite, whatever he is. He's gold. How's that? He's really good, especially at later levels. If you wanted to if you're really into a whale, you can see I've done some purchasing. I'm up to this level. Get up to 48,000, which is roughly $800 worth of spending. You get Superman for free. But over time, that does add up. If you unlock the legendary, you get some free stuff here. As you can see, I got Lex Luthor and Cyborg. If you got Sinestro, you get some free stuff too, or you can buy some extra as well. And if you make purchases, you also have this wish where they just give you a random thing. It's up to you. I'm gonna collect this. Over here is where our collection those little spells like we talked about. You do need to rank them up. It's an overall bonus now. It used to be, depending on the rank, it was different. There's some items I don't have. These are the rarer ones, harder to get. You see I just level them up, and it actually is giving a bonus no matter what, if I use them or not. See if I can actually see them. If you go into the rank up screen, there's these tokens. You have to get the collection rank up chips to eventually rank them up. And just like characters, when you rank them up, they get different abilities, or I should say added onto it, as you can see here. So that just about wraps up some new player tips and guides. There's one other tip I wanted to mention, is about gear. So there's different levels of gear. There's green, actually there's gray, green, blue, purple, and yellow or gold. One thing with gear is that you do get to enhance it. Let's see a good piece I want to enhance here. I don't really want to enhance any of that gear. Right now, at least, I have other gear. Let me find something that has purple. So these are the purple pieces. Notice you can enhance purple pieces as well as the gold pieces. And when you do an enhance, you can use other gear. So lesser gear like the blue, the purples, the greens, and plus you have like these nuts and bolts. And you can use also, if I hit max, you see I would get 10 levels if I use them all up on this particular piece. Do not enhance purple gear. Do not enhance green gear. Do not enhance blue gear. Only enhance gold gear. The reason being is you're going to eventually switch it all out to gold gear anyway. So that's why you don't want to waste that stuff. You kind of want to hang on to all those nuts and bolts as much as you possibly can, because it gets real expensive to enhance gear at later levels. As you can see, if I used up all mine right now, I'd only get 10 levels on one thing, and there's 6 items per character. Also, don't forget, gear is not stuck to a character like in Marvel Strike Force. You can move the gear around as much as you like. Unfortunately, there's no save sets right now. That'd be a nice feature I hope they would add, so that we can kind of save sets of gear and move it around a bit easier. But don't worry about that. So I think I'm going to wrap it up until next time. Hope this video is helpful and informative.